All right, welcome aboard, boys and girls, for week 3 of NFL Pregame Party. All right, boys and girls, welcome aboard for week 3 of NFL Pregame Party. I'm your host, Joe's Atmosphere, geared up in my, believe it or not, this is not a Geno Smith throwback jersey. This is actually my old Seahawks jersey from around the turn of the century, and it used to say Rivers on the back, and now it's a series of white dots because it's old and busted. But I want to thank you for being here and want to welcome my co-hosts. Of course, we've got Knock, my co-pilot forever. What's happening, man?
Yeah, I feel like old and busted, describes you perfectly. So I think it works. I think it works.
It does work. Look, I'll show you the back of it, man. It's bad. Look at that.
Oh man, yeah, it says Ritters. All right, cool.
But anyway, good morning, brother. Good to see you. Morning. I see you're in stealth mode this morning.
Yeah.
And of course, we've got John Das Wolfen. How you doing, man? Good to see you.
Fine. I'm wearing my Weapons of Mass Production shirt.
Weapons of Mass Production.
Even
I like
though we
that,
no longer
dude.
have Tyreek Hill, but
I need to get one with the Dolphins guys on it for the Germany game, and we both wear them. See, yeah, that would be cool. Imagine I just got wind of that. That's happening. I don't know what point of the season is that game going to take place.
It's in October, I think.
October,
what
cool. Oh, it's Miami
October
versus Kansas City in Germany, dude.
Oh yeah,
that's going to be off the chain. That's going to be a lot of fun to watch, man.
Yeah, they had like 1.4 million. It's actually November 5th, Sunday, November 5th.
Okay, November 5th. Yeah, that's going to be a great game. If Tua's still standing up by then, we'll see.
Well, it's getting to be about the point where he usually goes down.
Where he usually goes down, yeah. No doubt about it. But anyway, welcome aboard, guys. Let's start, as we usually do, with Knox college football report, man. What happened yesterday? I guess the biggest story is the Cinderella story is over. Oregon put the kibosh on that bullshit, didn't they?
Yeah. And the I'm sure people have seen it everywhere. I'm not going to look for
you don't need to rehash it. But
Dan Fanning doing his speech before the game was pretty telling how he was wanting the game to go, and basically say, they're looking for clicks, we're looking for wins, kind of deal. And it was from the jump just
bad.
Colorado couldn't run, they couldn't pass protect, and their defense was nowhere to be found. I thought I was watching the Denver Broncos.
Oh man, no!
Like especially that first drive, zero challenge. Like there was nothing there, nothing to be scared of, and it was.
I hate it for Dion. I'm a huge fan, but hey.
And then they got USC next week, so
it just gets worse, huh?
Yeah, it's a little rough for them right now. Let's just go to I only have one highlight, just one catch I watched live, and then it was on that list. It's one of the top 5 plays of the week. But
okay,
so that's the one I wanted to show for this week. My Boise State Broncos won 2-game win streak. So good for them. I think this
good for them.
conference. Air Force is undefeated. They won Friday night as well. So
That's awesome.
Let's see. Let me blow this just a little bit more. Georgia pretty much rolled over UAB. They're still number one. Michigan, I watched that game. Rutgers tried, but Michigan was just too much for them. 31-7. Baylor didn't put us too much of a fight against Texas. So
Whoa.
That one, yeah.
Come on, Baylor. How the mighty have fallen.
Florida State at Clemson. They went into Death Valley. And, it's funny. I think Clemson was the better team. But Florida was just resilient. They stayed in it. They forced overtime. And then I went to the bathroom, and I came back, and overtime was over. So that was I had to go.
Was it a pick six or something, or what?
Well, no, it was a one scored. I think it was like 1 or 2 scored play for Florida State, 25 yards, and then 4 and out for Clemson. That was it. That was the game. Like very kind of anticlimactic there.
Anticlimactic, yes.
Yeah. So and it was just over. Like I was like, okay, all right. So Clemson's now 2-2, so pretty dashed as far as their playoff hopes.
Right.
Concerned.
Yeah, I didn't think they were doing anything this year anyway.
Yeah. USC keeps rolling, 42-20 over Arizona State University. I mean, I never get to watch their games because they're always at 10 o'clock. But they're playing at noon next week.
Yeah.
In Colorado, so I'll get to watch that game.
Yeah.
This was a interesting game, very boring game to like really watch, but Ohio State at
5 updates last night. Yeah.
Yeah, Notre Dame, their defense is good, but they just, in the end, I guess, ran out of steam. And with 3 seconds to go, they were on the goal line. Ohio State was, and they punched it in and for the win.
Bummer.
I don't think Notre Dame's going to get hit too hard for this, for losing to the 16.
No, they should.
But
they lost by 3. And it was the
blow.
last drive, so yeah.
This one was really disappointing. Iowa at 0 points in a game. And you're ranked 24th.
Yeah, but it's my nephew's Penn State Nittany Lions. You go, boys. Way to go.
Yeah, this is going to be the year that Penn State's got to prove it. They still got to do Ohio and Michigan this year. So this is their year to prove that they belong. This is the year they got to do it. But Iowa State, that offensive coordinator, getting 0 points.
They're in trouble. Or excuse me, he's in trouble specifically.
He's in trouble. Yeah, he's in trouble. Defense is still pretty solid, but I mean, you got to score something.
Come on,
get the defense off the field.
Right?
Washington, another one of the ones I never get to see. They're really good, but I never see them because they're always playing
the Huskies. Yeah,
yeah. So, and then of course we already talked
one of my favorite quarterbacks to ever play the game came through there. Warren Moon. He was a Husky.
Okay.
Yeah. And he ended up playing for us late in his career. It was cool.
Colorado at Oregon. Of course, we talked about that one. Just crushed.
Yeah. I mean,
Oregon was just all.
It's really great what he's doing for that program. He's infusing some life into it.
He needs some more time. Though. This is definitely a Cinderella story. They're definitely overachieving up to this point, and then they played a real team, and then
they played a team, and the team kicked their ass.
And now they're going against USC next week, who is even better on offense than Oregon.
Wow,
and it's going to be scary. So.
Yeah.
Because Oregon was up 35-0 at halftime. They could have gone to.
I heard my dad was. I was doing the picks with Dad yesterday, and he was laughing about it. He was like, "You should hear this coach for Oregon, man. He's talking some serious shit."
Not much offense on this one. This is Utah. UCLA was expecting a little bit more, but Utah's still without their starting quarterback. So that they're still using their backup. But I mean, the difference in this one was a pick 6 early on in the game. Like really, like the first play of the game, I think it was really early on, and then Utah managed to score again, and like that was it. So that's Chip Kelly's UCLA there taking the loss, so they'll probably get kicked out of the rankings from that one.
Yep.
But they can make it back in. Arkansas put up a good fight against LSU. 34.
I was watching the highlights of this morning when I was eating, and wow, back and forth, huh?
And it was, it was actually a pretty decent game, but they still lost.
I'll tell you what's impressing me, man, is 2 things about this game. One, odd the scheduling of it, because this used to be the last game of the season for both teams, and I don't know if they showed this during the broadcast or not. If anybody, I don't know if you paid this much attention to it or not, but do they still play for the Golden Boot? It's a trophy that is actually the 2 states. They're right on top of each other. Now, I don't know how well you know your geography, but Arkansas is right on top of it, and it looks like a huge boot because, Arkansas is like a square, but it's kind of flared out on the top. And it basically, the rivers that border them, right, are the same ones. So it looks like all one big boot, and it's called the Golden Boot. And they used to play it the last game of the season. That was the traditional last game of the season for them. We always thought that they should make that like the Red River rivalry. It's played on a neutral field at the Cotton Bowl. We always wanted to see them play that game here at Independence Stadium because it's about halfway between Baton Rouge and where the Razorbacks play. I can't remember where they play at, but Little Rock, I think. But that would be a great thing, since they played it the last game of the season to do that, at a neutral field right here, and we'd make a bunch of money off of it. But apparently they're not playing it the last game of the season anymore. The other thing, Jaden Daniels looks good, man. I like the way he throws the ball. If he's got time, he's going to scorch your ass, dude. That's the thing. They got to protect that kid, and he can definitely throw the ball, or sling the rock, man. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. So,
do you know if they still play for that trophy?
I have no idea, dude. I have
Okay.
no idea.
Okay.
I'm watching 8 games at a time, so
Right,
I don't get a lot of backstory with some of these rivalries. I don't
I'll
know
look it
enough
up
about
while you're
college.
doing your report.
Yeah, that'd be a Matt question.
Right.
It
would be a Matt question.
Yeah.
He's busy today. He's not sick or anything. He's busy.
Yeah.
But yep.
So I'm still learning all this stuff. Yeah, all these rivalries, I'm still learning it. I'm still trying to get the conferences down and what teams in what conference and stuff like that. And yeah, so it's 134 teams. It's a lot to learn in 2 years. So I'm working on it.
Yeah,
that's when I really got into college 2 years ago. So
then there's the turnover in students that happens that you got to get used to who's playing for where every year.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Yeah, like if we were big time NFL analysts that had a bunch of people working for us, we would know more.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, we're real people that have real jobs and have real responsibilities that can't sink too much time into this stuff. So unfortunately, we can only learn so much. But I was disappointed in Ole Miss. They could not beat Alabama with Alabama switching back to Milroe, who looked pretty decent. But Ole Miss couldn't take down Alabama, unfortunately. So 24-10 on that one.
That sucks.
Really decent game here. Oregon State losing to Washington State University. That was a good game. Watch a good portion of that. And then we got Oklahoma taking out Cincinnati, 20-6. So not bad. Nothing crazy about that game. I did watch a good portion of it, but nothing special about it. Was really pulling for Pitt against North Carolina, but North Carolina pulled away late, so they took that one. And then Duke is still going. I'm excited. Next week, I believe, is Duke and Notre Dame, and I'm hoping Duke can put up.
Wow.
So they're going to be ranked around the same. I don't know how far Duke is. Were they 9? And they lost, so they'll probably go down to the mid-teens.
It's so funny. I see Duke versus UConn, and I'm like, is this a basketball game? I just, that's what I see every time.
Yeah.
Miami's still rolling. They're undefeated against Temple. We're going to beat them up. University of Texas San Antonio at Tennessee. Tennessee beat them up. Florida made it into the rankings last week. They beat up who is it? Charlotte, I believe it is. And then let's see, just kind of going through some of the games. I watched the Troy and Western Kentucky game. That was pretty entertaining. Let's see, TCU and SMU. That wasn't too bad. TCU pulled away though. Just trying to think. Maryland's undefeated. So I tend to hear a little bit more about Maryland because
that's Tua's brother playing for them.
He's
right?
a senior, yep. And so he's undefeated. They beat up Michigan State University. This was another good one. BYU at Kansas University. They were both undefeated. So this was a pretty decent game. Kansas, I think, had a couple turnovers and got the win of 38-27. So that was a fun game to watch.
Really wish KU would have lost, but oh well.
Well, they got a big game coming up next week, so there's always a chance. Let's see. This was kind of weird. I thought it was worth mentioning. University of South Florida, who gave Alabama a hard time last week, but only got like 3 points. They went to they faced Rice and put up 42 points. So, nice little comeback for them. Just looking here to see if anything else pops out. Wyoming and App State was not a bad game.
Missouri versus Memphis.
Yeah, Memphis and Missouri, they were both undefeated. This is a good game, 34-27. I know the Boise State has Memphis next week, and Missouri's undefeated, so I'm sure they'll get ranked or at least be close to being ranked. Then you got the Raging Cajun.
Yes.
I didn't watch this game, but I would have if I saw the scores. 45-38.
Wow.
So that was a fun game. Let's see. Fresno State is undefeated still, so good for them. That's pretty much it for this week. Just want to take a quick glance at next week real quick. I don't think there was a lot of games to mention from this one. It's definitely not a great week. Utah at Oregon State. Oregon State's going to drop down from 14 down to the 20s, maybe even unranked. But
they lost this week.
Game. Yeah, they did. So could still be
LA Tech and UTEP. Yes.
Yeah. LA Tech should take them out pretty easy.
I'm just saying, LA Tech is my boys.
Cincinnati and BYU might be a great game, but it's at 10:15 Eastern, so probably won't watch that one. And then probably the biggest one for next week would be USC at Colorado.
They're at home,
so that's probably their one advantage. They're at home. Home. That's about it. Northwestern, man, that's going to be a blowout. This could be a really decent game. That's what it was. UK is undefeated, I believe, or they're one loss.
Really? And they're unranked. They must be playing cupcakes.
Let's see. Oh, God. It's hard to. Yeah, they're 4-0. So
they
pretty much Vanderbilt, Akron, East. Yeah, Louis. Yeah.
Cupcakes.
But now they're not playing the cupcakes. So we'll see.
Now they're playing a real team.
Yeah, so they got Florida. So that should be a really decent game there too. And they might be ranked after this week because this doesn't show the latest ranking. So they could be ranked. Who knows?
Ooh, University of Lafayette at Minnesota. That looks pretty good.
Yeah.
That'd be good.
We'll see. We'll see.
Raging Cajun.
Yeah. Just looking through here, just trying to see.
Now, who's your Duke Blue Devils playing, man? The guys that you were keeping a close eye
I think they're coming up. Let's see. Auburn didn't do nothing yesterday, unfortunately for Matt. They're playing Georgia, so it's going to be
another
Michigan and Nebraska. That should be an easy one. Now, this is the interesting one. KU and Texas. This will be where John wants to see KU lose, and this is probably the best bet right here. But KU's undefeated, so undefeated KU versus undefeated Texas, so it could be a decent game there.
Get out of town.
Hook 'em horns.
Hook 'em horns.
Let's see.
I choked on that a little bit.
Let's see. I can't remember if Marshall won last night, but they were undefeated yesterday.
Mizzou versus Vanderbilt.
Yeah. If you don't win that game, just pack it in now, bro.
Vandy's kind of meh right now.
Well, Vandy's that's what people don't understand. That's the Ivy League school of the SEC, dude. That's
yeah.
I mean, their grade point average to get in there is pretty high. I mean, it's yeah.
You got LSU at Ole Miss. Ole Miss is going to drop either to the 20s or out of the rankings. So this,
who did play there though that I really loved in professional football. Jay Cutler played there. He played at Vanderbilt.
Yeah, he did. Iowa State at Oklahoma. Oklahoma should have this one pretty easy. So, yeah, I
hate it when people say that. Duke and Notre Dame. There it is.
There it is. Yep, 7:30 prime time.
Come on, game. Fighting Irish, beat that basketball school. Do it.
Yeah, Duke's done pretty good. They beat Clemson the first week, and they've been playing pretty much cupcakes the whole way. That's probably why they're not ranked as high. But if they could pull out Notre Dame will probably drop to like 15 or so.
My cousin was a bench warmer for the Duke basketball team.
Really?
Yeah.
See.
Cool. Well, all right, man.
Yeah, there's nothing much else there. Just Fresno
State
going undefeated. But I do have the one highlight, and then I will be done.
Okay.
This was my favorite catch of the weekend.
And we all know you
Troy,
love offense.
This is Troy at Western Kentucky. Troy did, I believe, pulled out the win on this one. And it was most likely because of this catch.
Of this catch. Let's see.
Even though it was in third quarter.
Let's see. Ooh, coming in. Whoa! You just got mossed, son.
Look at this.
Give me that.
Just
tips it to himself. That's why you go get it, guys. Don't let it come to you. Go get it. That way you got a second chance to catch it.
I saw that one live, and I was like, I got to show that one. That was
very cool.
That was number 2 on the list. So
good stuff. All right. Well, thank you.
That's college for you. Wrapped up in 20 minutes. There we go.
There you go. Very cool. Not quite wrapped up because I'm going to show you a little bit of this stuff right here.
Wait,
on the Golden Boot.
You have college stuff?
Just a little bit of college stuff to show.
Am I bleeding up?
This is the trophy itself. This is the boot.
Okay.
It's called the Golden Boot. This thing weighs 200 freaking pounds, man. This is a heavy sucker, this friggin' trophy. And yes, apparently they still play for it. That is really cool. Look at that thing, man. That is crazy. But I just wanted to show you guys what the boot looked like. It's something they play for every time. It's very cool. I enjoy that. And they've had some really good games. Just search the Golden Boot, LSU, Arkansas, and you'll find out a whole bunch of stuff about it, man. It's pretty cool stuff. Well, thank you for that, Knock. I appreciate it, man. I hate to see that Dion's team went down, but it was inevitable. You can't turn a whole program around in 1 year. It's a good start. They got 3 wins in a row, which is 3 times what they got last year. So he's definitely
not everyone could be Tulane and go 2 and 10 and then 10-2.
Right.
Whatever it
was.
Just
flip the script. Yeah. It's
but I mean, it's still
dude, he's still
gonna get 8-9 wins, and it's still gonna be a successful season. In the first season of a completely changed team. Who did they keep? Like the tight end, like one of the tight ends, like that was like all they kept. Like they didn't keep a lot of players.
Yeah, he used the transfer portal and got some people over there, man.
I saw that Warren Sapp wants to join them next year. So
what, on coaching staff? Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Imagine if he gets a bunch of ex-players that he knows to come coach. Man,
right. And he's got recruiting down. Like recruiting is going to happen for him. So
Can you imagine Dion going into a fucking house and trying to sell somebody on something? Guy's a freaking preacher. I mean, shit.
He's going to be like me in Madden, where I'll build up a team to 99s, and then I'll go to a different team.
Yeah.
And with Dion's going to go to a bigger school and then build that team up.
Yeah, he's not going to stay there he'll probably stay there for the duration of his kids.
He'll be there for a good 2, 3, 4 years maybe, but eventually he's going to move on. He's got to get to bigger schools. That's the whole point. All right.
Well, let's see. I want to talk about a few things here. Let me find it real quick on the schedule. Let's see. Schedule week 2 is what I want to look at because I was in an airport and I need some education. Okay. First of all, I didn't understand why they had 2 Monday night games this week.
Oh, that's a thing now. That's a thing now.
Is this Disney trying to get ESPN to be their own streaming service or something?
I don't know, but it's definitely it's happening this Monday too. So we got 2 games this Monday as well.
So let's take a look at it, guys.
It's really annoying because I watched it last week, but here's the problem that I have with it. Is that they keep track of each other's game, right?
Up in the left-hand corner, yeah. Now, I was in the airport, guys. Just to give you what's going on with me, I was in the airport watching the Saints Carolina game, and then when the national broadcast started of Cleveland and Pittsburgh, they switched it. So I didn't get to see the rest of the friggin' New Orleans game. That pissed me off. I was like, what the fuck? What is going on here? Why are you teasing me like this, right? Because it started an hour before the Pittsburgh-Cleveland game. And they had the subtitles on the TV we were watching that. We were at our gate, and it was completely covering up the Panthers side of the scoreboard up in the left-hand corner, right? Because they never stopped talking, so it was constant fucking captions. All I saw was the New Orleans score, so I didn't really know what was going on with the game.
Well, for me, I can't stay up and watch these games, so I go in the next morning, like when I'm barely waking up and I'm just fumbling through my phone. I try to get to the game without like constantly seeing anything else, scores or anything.
Right.
So I'm going into it blind. So I'm trying to watch the game, the Carolina game, right? And it's showing the Browns and Pittsburgh score at the same time. I'm like, dude, I want to watch that next. Like, that's what I'm going to do next is watch that one. But you're already giving away half of the game, most of the game.
Right.
It doesn't give the ending away, obviously, but you're I want to go into it blind. I can only watch a quarter and more the night before. So, that's in the morning. So I catch it like on the ride in. I'll listen to it and all the good stuff. But
knowing is half the battle. So now to watch the game that you're more invested in first, right?
Yeah.
That's what you're gonna have to do.
Well, no, because I want to watch the other because they're gonna reference the other game, so it's like I'd rather watch the game that's still going and not ruin the ending of the other game. So you got to watch it in chronological order, kind of deal.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that was my biggest Eric.
Yeah,
being side by side.
So how did New Orleans look in the victory? Was it close? I mean, it's a division game. I didn't see any of it, so I don't really know. How did Carr look? These are the things I'm interested in.
I mean, he looks okay.
Yeah,
20 points is nothing.
20
special.
Yeah, I know you want 50 every game. Yeah, but this is the NFL. You don't get 50 points every game.
Yep.
But I did see the Cleveland-Pittsburgh game, and wow, that was like watching the Keystone Cops. When I said you need to watch every game between the teams in this division this year, you need to. It was ridiculous. The amount of turnovers in that game. They were trying to kill each other. It was great. They were carting people off every other fucking play.
Yeah.
It opened with a pick six. It was awesome.
You got to feel bad for Nick Chubb. That was the worst.
That was the worst.
That's such a shame.
Both of the guys on that tackle got fucking carted off, I think, didn't they? Both of them ended up hurt on that hit. And what's the injury? Is his knee?
It's torn ACL.
He's gone. Yeah. Fuck. Wow. But the pick by or was it a fumble? Yeah, it was a fumble recovery by Watt that won the game for him, right? Their defense was flying around at home, man. I kind of figured they would be. That's why I picked them. I know Cleveland looked really good in week 1, but I said, yeah, you know what? Pittsburgh's going to be a little pissed off after that shellacking they took from the Niners. Yeah. But anyway, I just wanted to touch base on this and see why this is a thing. I remember they used to open the season with 2 Monday night games. And, now it's going to be a weekly thing.
I don't know every week, but it's definitely a bigger thing.
Yeah.
Bryce Young is out this week. Anthony Richardson is out this week.
Yep. Yeah, we've got some injuries. I've got the injury report up here. If we need to get to it.
I already set my fantasy teams this week, so
very good for you. Now, this one. The San Franciscan 49ers taking out the New York Giants. I didn't get to see this one either because my mother and her people do not watch football up there. That is not a thing they do. Matter of fact, Thursday night, you guys are not going to believe what I was doing. I steamed 33 lobsters. Never done it before in my fucking life, but it's really easy to do. I had no clue how easy this was. You get one of those big boiling pots, but you only put like an inch of water in it. And you raise it to a boil, and then you just drop that live sucker in there, about 2 or 3 of them, and let them sit for 15 minutes and then pull them out. They're done. It's amazing. It's very cool. What it was is my aunt got a deal on some lobster from somebody that was coming up from Portland, some fishermen from Portland that were coming up to hunt. Because up there in Maine, you have to win a lottery to go moose hunting. Okay. And every year they come up to deer hunt and whatever, and they bring lobster with them, and I think they got these things for like $200, and it was like 33. We're talking Maine lobster, guys. These things were huge. The tails were about this long on each one of them. It was ridiculous. Yeah. Anyway, just imagine mutant lobster. Anyway, that's what I did Thursday night. I didn't get to see any of this. I checked in on my phone for the score, but it was like I thought. The Niners pretty much, this was never close, was it? I mean, I think the Giants scored late, didn't they?
Yeah. McCaffrey had a great game. Pretty decent. I think my biggest takeaway with this is they got to get better at red zone offense. This score could have been
the Giants or the Niners.
No, the Niners. The score could have been bigger. I think there was at least 3 or 4 field goals in there. So I would say that's probably the biggest thing is do better in the red zone.
Okay, all right.
This could have been a bigger.
Did you see it, John?
Yeah. It was. I saw bits and pieces of it. Are
they? Here's a question for you guys: are they getting their money's worth out of Daniel Jones?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Now, Saquon, was he injured before this game or?
Before.
He was injured before. Yeah.
Okay. So
they have Matt Breida.
Okay.
I don't think he has enough there to help him. Honestly.
Yeah. It's just going to be him. Which means it's going to be a long season for the Giants.
And McCaffrey keeps defying the odds on the running back position.
That's not going to last forever. Look, from what I've seen out of him early this year, they're not spreading that ball around in the backfield. It's all him.
No. They have the number 20. I think it's Mitchell. He's okay. He's not McCaffrey, but he's okay. And then they got this game they didn't have Ayuk in it. He was hurt, but they'll get him back. They have Deebo Samuels, who gets a lot of touches as well.
Oh, yeah.
And they got Kittle. They still got Kittle. Don't forget about Kittle.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the backfield, the load that Christian McCaffrey's carrying.
I mentioned that. Well, I mean, Deebo gets it out of the backfield. So does Mitchell. So they I'm not saying that McCaffrey's not going to get hurt from the amount of touches he gets. He gets a lot of touches. But
yes, he does.
That's every running back these days. I mean,
but he's injury prone. Knock. The guy is injury prone. He's like the Tua of the running back core. Okay, he just is. So I mean, if I was the Niners, I'd be finding somebody to spell him with and do it a lot more often. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so let's get into this week's slate of games. First one we got here is Indianapolis at the Ravens. Does anybody want to go on that limb with now me and my dad were talking about this, and we both picked the Ravens, but the backup quarterback for Indianapolis is like the modern day Fitzpatrick, man. All he does is step off the bench and win games. You know what I mean? Gardner Minshew is, if you need a backup, I don't think you can get a better backup in the league than that guy. I'm sure that Andy Reid would love to have him as a veteran backup up there in fucking Kansas City. You know what I mean? That's a guy that you could just plug and play, man. I mean, the guy seems to get it. You know what I mean? I don't know. I didn't watch the tape last week. Is he still sporting the porn stash? They used to hold up signs and
I think so.
They used to hold up signs in Jacksonville that said "Fear the stash."
Remember
that. But does anybody give Indianapolis a chance in this game though? It's up in Baltimore.
Yeah, it's at home in Baltimore.
It's not what me and my brother like to call freeze-dried football, which is a team coming from a dome into the outdoors. You know what I mean? I just don't.
You would just have to have everything go your way if you're the Colts. Like
you would.
The ball would have to bounce the right way. That Lamar would have to make mistakes. Like you just, but Baltimore.
And you know what's messed up about it? This Indianapolis is one of those teams that loves to. I mean, John knows this. You guys were rolling last year when they just jumped up and bit your ass, man.
Yeah, they're a wild card. They're a wild card. You just never know what you're going to get from them.
Yeah, I mean,
they snake bite you.
There's no telling, man. We'll see. But I'm
going to go with smart play is the Ravens, though. On paper, it should be the Ravens.
Okay.
Minshew is
John,
a
who did you pick? I don't have your Google thing up.
I picked the Ravens.
Okay. Keep that up so I can go ahead and mark these, man.
I've got it up.
Let's see. The next one we got is, oh boy,
Sunday Night Football.
Monday Night Football.
Monday Night Football.
All the games go.
Everything else, but
right. What the hell? It went all the way down to the bottom for some reason. Okay, the next one we got is Tennessee at Cleveland.
Just right-click it and hit new tab.
Okay. Yes, sir. I'm old. Fuck you, knock. Fuck you. That's right.
Where's your brother at?
That's right. Where's my brother? Tennessee at Cleveland. Cleveland's at home. They don't have Chubb.
Yep.
They do.
That sucks. Chubba Wubba was my man.
They brought Kareem Hunt back, though.
They brought Kareem Hunt, who knows that offense, so he should be able to slide right in. He's got four. Four didn't look that bad last week either. But what are you getting from Deshaun Watson? And
what are you getting from that front line? Because Tennessee's got a good defense, man. I don't know. They're at home.
I'm going to go with the home team on this one just because Tennessee is just so boring, but they're usually consistent. But I think the Browns have a higher ceiling, and they're at home.
Let's see who I went with. I went with Cleveland in this one, and I'll tell you why. You don't know what you're going to get from Deshaun Watson, but you do know what you're going to get from Myles Garrett, and he's going to be up Ryan Tannehill's ass, and that spells turnovers. So, I have to go with the home team on this one, no doubt. That's my reasoning. John, what you got?
I went with the Browns.
Yep.
Surprisingly.
I just haven't heard much from Derrick Henry. I don't know. Is he washed up now? Have we
No, I don't think he's washed up. I think teams are loading up against him. They've been exposed. They're a one-trick pony offense. I mean, if you load the box with 8 in the box and dare Tannehill to beat you, he's not going to do it. So, I mean, it's not that he's washed up. I think he's facing adversity.
Gotcha.
He's their offense, and everybody knows it.
I haven't seen it. I have all the games going right at the same time, but I don't pay attention to the game because they're boring to watch.
I mean, I watched one game with them this year, and I can't remember who they were playing, but they spread it out and tried throwing just to loosen him up to get him some running space, and teams aren't buying it. They're just not buying it. They know they're not going to stick with that.
Not scared of it,
yeah, they're not scared of it. So, that's my thinking on that one. Okay, so the next one we got that's injuries. Shit. Look at me. God, I did it again. I suck. All right. So the next one is Atlanta at the Detroit Lions.
I'm digging Atlanta. They're not winning.
They're
not winning pretty, but
they're not winning pretty. But you know what? They're undefeated.
Yeah.
Of course, now their opponents so far have been Atlanta and Green Bay.
Well, Atlanta did not play Atlanta, so that's incorrect.
Or excuse me. I'm sorry.
This
Carolina
Madden,
Panthers
Joe.
on
this
week
isn't
one.
Madden. You don't play.
Yeah, this isn't Madden. You can't play the same.
I've had that
team,
in
right?
Madden where I played myself.
Yeah.
in a game.
Do you remember that? Wasn't it
so
Chicago versus Chicago?
Yeah, it was Chicago. And then what they did was they added all the stats for both teams together, so it looked like only one team played. It was so sad. Only Madden.
Wasn't that the 23 game when you first got it?
It was one of the face of the franchises I was doing, and I was the quarterback for I got drafted by the Bears. And that was the first season of that.
But man, I was watching Rich Eisen's show yesterday, and they had their what's it called? Overreaction Monday, and one of the things the guy raised to him is Atlanta a quarterback upgrade away from being relevant. And Rich Eisen had said, I mean, if Riddle plays a little bit better, they're blowing teams out. You know what I mean? So, Atlanta's been they've been amassing talent for a little bit now. So.
Did you guys see that above camera shot looking down at Bijan Robinson running? Oh,
no,
it's insane. Go ahead, continue. I'm going to see if I can find it.
Okay, sure. Detroit at home. Now, who did they lose to last week? It was Seattle, right? Yeah, it was Seattle.
Yeah, it was a big shootout.
Yeah, the big shootout, and we won by a field goal. I don't know that Atlanta can score like that. I think I took Detroit in this one. I think. Let me see. Yeah, I took Detroit in this one. What do you think, John?
That's who I went with.
Yeah?
Okay. Yeah, I was thinking, because Detroit has that, they're on that edge of being a really good team.
Well, yeah, the most impressive thing about Detroit is they're figuring out how to win. I didn't exactly see how they lost to Seattle. I saw the highlight at the end, how we scored there at the end, but they get a little bit better on defense, and they're going to be hard to deal with because the offense is there. They can score with anybody, man. What was the final score last week? Like 38-35, some shit like that. Yeah, it was ridiculous.
It was a close score. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Who you going with in this one, man? You gonna go with Atlanta? Do you think they can? You think Ritter's going to make a big improvement week to week, or?
I'm tempted to go Falcons.
Really?
The Lions at home, and that offense is really good. It's just the defense needs to step up more, which has been always the case for the Lions.
Can Atlanta score 35 points? Because they're going to have to beat this team. That's the thing. They haven't done it yet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're more of a running team than running teams.
Yes, they are.
Back it up like that. I'm gonna go with the Lions. I really want to go with the Falcons. I hope the Falcons win.
Go with the Falcons.
I'm gonna go.
Don't let me look. You sound like my father now. Don't let me influence you. If you want to go to,
I wasn't paying attention to anything you said. Okay. I just don't. Nice. I just think that at home with the Lions, it's just, and I like the Lions too, but I want to like the Falcons. So screw it. Let me go Falcons.
Oh, he says that's his upset pick this week, Atlanta. Yeah, I like it. All right, like that a lot. Okay, let's pop this here and see if I can do this a little faster. There we go. I'll just keep this size and then blow it up when I get to the next page. Next one we got New Orleans at Green Bay. New Orleans at Green Bay. New Orleans undefeated. There's 3 teams in the South undefeated. Atlanta, New Orleans, and Tampa Bay. And none of them want to lose. Of course, I picked these guys to win the division this year. And we got what is this? Is this the first game at home for Jordan Love? No. Yes, it is. They went into Chicago and they went into Atlanta, right?
Is. Yeah.
Yeah, this is the first game at home for Jordan Love. Yep. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I'm taking New Orleans in this one, I believe. Let me check my thing. Yeah, I got New Orleans in this one. I just think their defense is the way to go. You know what I mean? So, did you get it, Knock? You ready?
I am now. I didn't do audio first time.
That's fine. That's fine.
I couldn't find the exact angle. There was like a video that had like a crazy good angle of it, but this will work.
Okay, this is the Atlanta Falcons against the Green Bay Packers.
Bijan Robinson.
Who is a horsefly, folks.
I think it was one of the on the hanging wire above the field. I think that was the shot it was from, but it had like a really close up of him doing it. But you'll basically see what the play was. So.
Yep.
Let me back it up just a second.
Downs for the Falcons on the toss. It's Robinson.
Oh my God! Just breaking ankles out there. This guy, man.
Woo. So yeah, that's what there was like a crazy shot of it where it shows it like those. I don't know how to explain it. Where they zoom in and then just like the camera follows them.
Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about.
It was one of those shots. I couldn't find
watching guys just fly by him, right?
Yeah.
Good Lord.
So that
man, the guy is phenomenal. I'm enjoying watching him. I'm not a huge Falcons fan, but man, that guy's special. He's really good. But getting back to this one, I think New Orleans defense will win the day in this one. That they're for real. I don't know if you've watched them at all. I see all their games down here. I didn't see their game against Carolina, but I did see the opener, and The offense didn't look good out the gate, but the defense kept them in it. That secondary's for real. Cameron Jordan's for real. They're good. They're good on defense, man. Allen's got those guys flying around on defense. Of course, he's a defensive-minded coach. That's his specialty. And I think Carr's looking a little more comfortable in the offense. The first half, he looked like he was hanging on to it too long, didn't trust what he was seeing. But the second half, he started letting the ball go, and they started moving it a lot. So I think he's going to grow into this system, and I think they're going to be really good by the end of the year. I got New Orleans winning this one. What do you guys think?
Well, I picked New Orleans because I don't love Jordan Love.
Mm-hmm.
And the Saints have a hometown guy kicking for them, so I'm going to root for them over anybody else.
They got a Mizzou kicker?
No, they have a Sedalia kicker.
A Sedalia kicker from the high school.
From my high school.
Mm-hmm.
He went to Notre Dame. He was the Notre Dame kicker. But
okay,
yeah. So
you think that kicker from Missouri is going to get drafted?
Yeah, you think? I saw that kick earlier this year, man. Jesus.
Yeah, I showed it.
That guy's got a cannon.
The kicker, 250-pound kicker.
I'm gonna go Green Bay in an upset on this one.
Okay.
I'm going for it. Yeah, I'm going Green Bay at home. I do think Love has done pretty decent, and
decent. Yeah.
I'll
give him that.
I don't trust Derek Carr.
You don't trust Derek Carr?
You guys can love him all you want. I don't trust him.
I don't love him.
He's never.
I just got done detailing how I did not like his play.
I think he's getting too much credit. Michael Thomas is eventually going to get turf toe and be out of the game forever for the year. He's going to start. He still doesn't have Kamara back.
Is that some fantasy football grudge there?
I never picked up Michael Thomas. I never trusted him, so I would never take him. So no, he didn't spurn me, but I'm sure he spurned a lot of people. But I never trusted him, so I would never pick him up.
Yeah.
At least with McCaffrey, you get a couple of good games before he's out.
Right, before he gets hurt. But Michael Thomas,
I don't trust him quite yet. I don't care about NFC one way or the other for the most part. So they do you. But I'm gonna go Green. I'm gonna go home team on this one. See Green Bay come back after.
Well, I can tell you this: the formula for them to win, the Green Bay to win, is to run the ball with Rodgers. They've got to run the ball more because their quarterback, he's iffy. He's iffy. Jordan Love, I mean, he's capable of pulling it down, but he seems to be trying to play from the pocket, and he doesn't trust what he's seeing. When he does complete one of those deep passes, it's pretty, but that's rare to see that happen. So they've got to run the ball. And can the Packers play good defense? They never have. The only time they have good defense, they win the Super Bowl. So, I mean, that's the book on them. Their defense is not that great. So, that's your formula for winning, man, is to get Aaron Rodgers or excuse me, Aaron Jones going in that game.
I don't even know if Aaron
well,
Jones
he's a
Is he
big
out?
time decision because I've got him as one of my running backs, and he's sitting on the bench.
Oh, great. Well, boys and girls, that sucks. That sucks. I'm sorry to hear that for you. If he's not playing,
no, he's really
out. Okay, so you're hanging your hat on. Yeah, okay. I'll stick with New Orleans. Okay, next we got the Houston Texans visiting the Jacksonville Jaguars. Round 1 this year for these two teams.
Pretty easy, Jaguars.
And you'd be hard pressed to pick the Texans, wouldn't you? I mean,
I'm so sure about this pick that I picked up the Jaguars defense.
just for this game, probably, right?
Yeah. I don't know if it's gonna be that good, but I didn't have really many options. Right. You got CJ Stroud. He's having a rookie season, like a Peyton Manning season. So just learn.
What are you gonna do?
Just learn, man. This team is built for just like they're on the road that the Jags were on.
Yes.
Jags are
Absolutely.
like a few years in.
They are the Jags 3 years ago. Yes,
right.
absolutely.
So just take your punches. They can come in here and win a game. Texas. That's the one thing about Texans is they always put in a fight.
Yeah, they do.
They do not lay.
You gotta like that about the franchise.
But they will be in every
like
single
that,
one of those games for the most part. So could they come in and surprise? It is a divisional game. We all know how divisional games go. But
yeah, they're
on
not
paper, the Jags should take care of business.
Yeah,
and they're at home, which means nothing.
John, are you going on that limb or no?
Oh no!
He says no.
I'm firmly planted in the Jaguars camp in this one.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm that way too. I like,
I tell you what, I can't wait till next week for the Toy Story game.
Yeah,
Toy Story game.
Yeah. I already explained this one, but I guess you've forgotten already at your age. But they got the Toy Story, the Toy Story rendering next week. They're going to play in.
That's right.
Yeah, that's the Falcons and Jags game in England, I believe it is, or whatever,
okay.
or London or whoever.
Cool.
That's at like 9 a.m.
How many games in England are the Jags playing this year? 2? They usually play 2.
I don't know.
Yeah, okay. I am predicting that London is going to be one of the first expansion teams.
Well, the Jags.
Well, yeah, and it's going to be the Jaguars. No, the Jaguars are going to move.
Going to transfer there.
Yeah,
no, I'm sure.
Yeah, Jags are wanting. The article I just read was
that has been the plan.
Billion,
Go ahead.
They want $1 billion in order to stay for a new stadium or to work on their stadium in Jacksonville. If they don't get it, they're going to want out.
They're making it ungodly for this reason, guys. And I followed this family a little closer than most because I'm a wrestling fan. Yeah. AEW is Tony Khan's baby, but he manages several of the family's companies, and the dad that owns all this shit, they live in England.
Yeah.
They fly back, they pond hop across the Atlantic. They want to move their football team to London. That's why they've invested so much money in getting the NFL to play there. They want to move the Jaguars there. So, yeah, don't be surprised if I'd say within the next decade, we're looking at probably the London Monarchs. I would imagine they're going to go ahead and go back to that moniker. They're going to change that whole fucking team around, the logo and everything, and put them in London. And it's going to be interesting to see what the logistics look like for that, because that means that 8-9 games a year, depending on how many home games they get, a team from the NFL is going to have to jump the pond every other week. So it's going to be interesting to see. But if it takes off there, we know that they would love to have a team in Germany too.
Yeah.
Now that's where expansion would come in. They would probably, they really want to get, once they get these games going in Germany. I don't know. Have they had a game in France yet? I don't know. I'm not sure.
I don't think so. I don't remember. I don't think so.
I know
I doubt they will.
I don't know about France.
Yeah. But that's what they're looking at. They want to move the Jaguars to London and change the moniker and everything. Okay. It's good we're talking about something else, because it just gets worse for my buddy's football team. They are playing arguably the hottest team in the NFL right now, the Miami Dolphins. They're going to Miami. They're going to be down in that Africa hot heat. I've been in that stadium. I was down there in 2003 to watch Brett Favre dismantle the then Jay Fiedler-led Miami Dolphins. But yeah, man, I don't know. I hate to tell you, Knock, I think you're going 0-3, dude. Yeah. Thoughts, gentlemen, on Denver's chances of going into Miami in that heat and beating them?
I mean, yeah. The scariest thing will be that we go out 14-0 to start the game, and because I know it's not going to last. So that will be scary for me if that happens. So
yeah, what were you up 21 something last?
21-3 at the second half of the second quarter, and on their side of the field. And then Russell Wilson fumbles, and that changed the whole game. Like the defense,
it's like the entire momentum shifted.
And it's sad. It was just so. I love having to watch these and we can't ever. we never have a game where we just get ahead and we stay ahead. There's always got to be drama in our games. I can never live peacefully in a boxing game unless it's preseason. Apparently, because it just never ends. It's always a last minute thing. Once again, it was a last minute field goal, and then we had through a Hail Mary, and then of course on the 2-point conversion, our wide receiver gets held, doesn't get called.
Doesn't get called, and there it is. Yeah.
And then like the folks are like, oh, look at this receiver on the way other side of the field that was wide open. Wilson's blind. It's like, okay, well, he's also short. You can't see everything.
Right.
But no, I think the only like positive, not positive. I don't like players getting injured, but Waddle is out on this game.
Okay.
It's going to be as big a difference. It just means they're going to rely on Mozart a little bit more, but they still have Tyreek Hill who's going to outrun everybody on the field. Yeah. Our defense isn't going to be able to stop them. So I'm picking Miami. I've been picked already twice.
Yeah.
Denver. I'm hoping they win. Obviously, I'll be cheering for them, but against Miami, I just don't. I don't.
I got Miami. I'm not wishing anything to happen to Tua, but we all know he's made of glass. If you get to him, that could be a difference maker. But
our defense disappears at time. Like we would get rushes,
and this is unbelievable to me. Then, you guys have been hanging your hat for the last fucking half a decade on defense.
We need Von Miller. It's Von Miller. Since Von Miller's left, and DeMarcus Ware have gone. Like our defense has not been consistent.
You got no pass rush.
Our pass rush is gone. We tried to address it, but Frank Clark's going to be out of this game. Justin Simmons.
The one good thing about this year's Denver Broncos, though, they're scoring touchdowns. The offense is not the fucking problem right now. Finally, it is not the problem.
It's so awesome. If we had averaged
right, if you'd done this last year.
Yeah, if we'd averaged 20 points, and now it's like, can our defense average 20 points? Like that's like what the fudge, man? It's just a complete opposite now. And I don't know. I'm putting it on Vance Joseph. I don't care. And now they're Sean Payton's like, we're going to simplify the offense, which is basically calling Wilson stupid.
Why even fuck with the fucking offense? It's scoring points.
Not when it needs to. I guess there was too many 3-and-outs. When they and we always go to get the ball after the half. When we win the coin toss. And every time we get the ball after the halftime, we never do anything with it. 3-and-out every single time.
3-and-out every time.
It's fucking frustrating.
That's when you're supposed to have the long, sustained drive to crush the hopes of the other team.
Right. And it's always 3-and-out after the half. So it's like it's pointless. So it's basically just an extra possession for the other team.
So we're all in the Miami camp on this one?
Yeah, I think Mostert's going to play a big game in this one. Tyreek Hill, they'll try to do what they can to contain him, but it's not going to happen. He'll get
one Waddle out there. If
we can focus on him more, definitely. But our safeties are hurt. We've already lost 2 safeties, one for the season, and then Justin Simmons is out. We're hurt in the secondary. And Pat Surtain is not going to line up with Hill on every play. He's kind of like he's more like Richard Sherman, where he only focuses on the outside to cover the slot generally. As much. It just kind of depends on what the scheme is, but the scheme sucks. So,
I went with the Finns. Tyreek's going to have time to stop and sign autographs on his way to the end zone.
Yeah, and so is Tua. Tua's going to have plenty of time in the backfield to be like, take selfies and be like, this is me throwing the ball.
Check me out! I'm about to throw it to Tyreek.
Yeah. It's like it's gonna be very frustrating.
Man,
unfortunate, but that's just what the state of it is right now.
Wow, so. You might just pass watching this one. Just watch it later if they upset them. You know what I mean?
Well, I'll have all the games going, but yeah, it definitely. This has been the unfortunate last 2 weeks where it just kind of kills football for me for the rest of the day. So the fact that it's a 1 p.m. game, and I'm just not going to give a shit about the rest of the games.
Well, see, the bad thing about
hang on,
let me get this on full screen real quick. I got to tell you. The bad thing about rooting for a franchise like the Denver Broncos, they expect to win. That's one of those ones like the Pittsburgh Steelers, like the Green Bay Packers, the Miami Dolphins, the Cowboys. They expect to win. Every year they expect to win. They expect their organization to put a killer football team on the field every year. When you're a Seahawks fan, you're just... It's gravy if you win a football game, really, man. I mean, we lost for so long. I've watched that team lose for 30 years till Holmgren
Tua's not going down till next week. So
So Denver
when they play the Bills, he's going down when they play the Bills.
Yeah, when they play the Bills, he's probably going down. That's the one he's going to get hurt on.
Okay, I didn't read this week's script, so I wasn't sure. Okay.
But when you're a fan of like the Saints or the Seahawks, you're used to losing. So when you win, it's cool, But Knox sounds like one of those guys. He sounds like every Dallas fan I know. He sounds like every Steelers fan I know. We should be winning these games. Damn it!
Hey, look how many years I've had to put up with bad teams.
Yes, I know you have. That is a fact. Yes, Kansas City. They always had a tough team, but they never could win. And now, since they've got the Golden Boy, woof, they really good now. Woof.
Yep. We've really shot ourselves in the foot.
Yep. Next one.
Battle of the 0-2.
You want to talk about somebody that's on the hot seat? It's that idiot that I love so much in L.A. I love this coach right here. Did you see his press conference last week? He finally got pissed at people questioning his fucking play calling, and it was funny as fuck. Oh, man. Did you see it, John? It was fantastic. It was something glorious. It really was. He's feeling some heat, boys and girls. He's feeling some heat. His friggin' they could have won both of these games, guys. But this idiot he's an analytics guy.
By the way, Oregon, I just popped into my head. Oregon also, just like the Detroit Lions in week 1 against Kansas City, went for a fake punt on their own side of the field and converted it. So I think we're going to be seeing this a lot more often, teams taking chances on their own side of the field, depending on who they're playing.
I mean, I can understand it. I can understand it if the game is close. I can understand it. If the say the score's within 3 points, I can understand that, especially if you've got a play that you feel like is successful against what they're doing on the special teams defensive side. You know what I mean? If you feel good about the play, yeah, why not? But
Oregon,
I wouldn't do it because I'm an old stick in the mud.
Oregon just did it to be disrespectful. They were like, you guys aren't worthy of this punt, so we're just gonna keep it. And
it's gonna keep it. Fuck
we're just gonna
yeah. Okay. This game here, guys.
Well,
I'd love to take the fucking Chargers in this game. I really would. I may have done it. Yeah, I did. My dad took Minnesota, and I took the Chargers. I said this is my upset pick.
I mean, what's the number one rule of Cousins that you have to base your decision around this?
Nobody's watching.
Nobody's watching. This is not prime time.
But you know what?
And it's at home. I'm gonna.
Dalvin Cook being away from that team is hurting that team. I don't give a shit what anybody says. I really believe that's the problem.
That was such a dumb decision. I like Madison. I like Madison, but he's not Dalvin Cook.
Yeah.
Vikings know how to give up good running backs. That's what they do.
This is an upset pick for me. I took the Chargers.
I
love Herbert. I love Herbert. I really do. But he's another Los Angeles Chargers quarterback that's going to be put up monster numbers in losses every fucking week because of the rest of the goddamn team.
I don't mind that.
Oh, I know you don't. I know you Chiefs fans and Broncos fans really love this guy, Bradley, being their fucking coach. But you know what? He needs to go. Guy needs to be run out of town on a rail.
I'm going to go the Vikings in this one because they are at home. It's not prime time. That's kind of my biggest rule. I kind of stuck with that rule. With is it prime time? Yes or no? And then And Cousins has played some pretty decent games. Like the prime time.
He's not the reason they're losing. He's not the reason they're losing.
I don't know. So, but the Chargers, they have great pieces there.
Yeah, they do.
They just, I don't know. I get maybe it's coaches.
It's the coaching.
So
it's that simple. It's the coaching.
So I'm gonna go with the Vikings at home in this one.
Okay, what you got, John?
I went the Chargers.
Yeah,
I didn't want to go with the Chargers, but I kind of have to in this.
Right.
Yeah. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if the Chargers just go in there and whomp them. So, but
I really think we're going to see as the year goes on that Dalvin Cook meant a lot more to this franchise than they think, and I don't know. I see them being in the bottom of their division right there with the Chicago Bears this year.
I think he's just a product of the times of NFL teams not respecting running backs, and unfortunate casualty of that is just running backs.
When you've got a top 5 running back, you need to keep him. You really do.
Dalvin Cook,
that was Dalvin Cook.
That's just in his prime, I think he gets hurt, but still
makes no sense to me. But okay, here's the argument the other way, right? Look what's happened to Saquon already. Look what's happened to Chubb already. You've got to have a committee for sure. You've got to have backups, but I still think you need that fucking workhorse to take the fucking load. That's one thing I don't understand about your team, John. I love Double E, Edwards-Helaire. I think he needs to be the first and second down back every friggin' down, because the guy carries people with him when they're trying to tackle him. You know what I mean? I like your scat back you got there. I can't remember his name. Starts with a
Pistachio.
Yeah,
Pistachio.
Pachenko. I like him. He's a scat back though. He's
the featured back now. Well, he isn't now because he's hurt, but
he's the featured back now because he's a scat back that can catch it in the flat. That's what he's for. And because Andy Reid, I love Andy Reid to death, and I know why Knock loves him so much. He's totally anti-running the fucking football. All he does is throw on every fucking down.
Okay, hang on now. Let me defend myself on this one. I liked him back in the day when he was with the Eagles because he did the West Coast offense. And West Coast offense requires you to run the ball and then do the rollouts.
This is true.
And then, play off the run. So that's why I was always a big fan, because that's what Mike Shanahan did. It was the West Coast offense. And Andy Reid used to do that. Now he's just, that's where I grew to like him. And then now he's the Chiefs.
Now he's the screen master. He finds more ways to run screens. It's ridiculous.
What do the announcers call it? Like running the ball with the pass?
That's what he does. He throws it behind the line of scrimmage to a back or a tight end or a friggin' wide receiver that can get in space and break ankles. I mean, that's, and I guess that's a good way to go, but he still struggles to get a yard when he needs it. Mm-hmm. That man has always struggled to get a yard when he needs it, when all he's got to do is put Double E in there and pound the rock. That's all he's got to do.
Where's the Priest Holmes when you need him?
Helaire is spelled with an H.
Huh?
His last name is
I keep calling him Double E because of the way it sounds. But the LSU Tiger you got in the backfield needs to be in there in short yardage. I'm sorry, he just does.
He's not going to be here next year. I've got his jersey, so I'm a fan.
I know I'm preaching to the choir. I know you hear what I'm saying. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But
because every time he touches the ball, he comes into relief now. And when he touches the ball, it's kind of like watching when Ezekiel Elliott was getting long in the tooth in Dallas. And what's his name had come in? The guy that's starting now, Pollard. Everybody's like, why are we even giving the ball to friggin', Ezekiel Elliott? This guy's
Pollard was getting like 20 yards a play. It was ridiculous. His average was insane.
Man. But anyway, this is really a coin toss game. Neither one of these teams are going anywhere. But I really like Hebert, and I think is the Bosa on this team playing, or is he hurt? I don't remember.
I think he's
playing. And they still got Khalil Mack as well.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. Definitely. The only thing that's going to stop them is their idiot fucking coach. But anyway.
Now, granted, that is the lesser Bosa, but
it is the lesser Bosa. Yes, we know that the major Bosa is in. Okay, I'm going to have fun talking about this game right here. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. You see that record right there?
Yeah.
I don't care if that record is 2-15 at the end of the season. It's going to be a sweep of these motherfuckers right here. I can tell you that right now. These guys have no chance today. I don't care that it's being played in New York. They have no chance. This team is going to beat them. The New England Patriots will beat the New York Jets. Put your money on it. Bank on it. It's happening. I don't care what the point spread is. New England is going to beat them today. And by the way, New England has been in both games. They should have beaten the Philadelphia Eagles. They should have. They had the Eagles gave them every opportunity to win that game, and they didn't. And I think it's, Mac Jones, he's a game manager at best, man. He's not a great quarterback, but
if this was a traditional Bill Belichick team, that's all he'd have to be.
That is all he'd have to be.
Defense, run the ball, and then game manage. That's how you would Bill Belichick. So,
but he doesn't have those killer players anymore. On offense, they are very meh. I mean, I can't.
Ezekiel Elliott and Juju Smith-Schuster.
That's it. Juju Smith-Schuster. Yeah, that's it.
He's been hurt.
There's a reason why we didn't fight to keep Juju.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. He's kind of a
I don't know what that is because you won a Super Bowl with him. So, yeah, you're not going to convince me that you didn't help your team. So,
he
didn't win it for you, but he didn't hurt your team.
He's complimentary. He's not a feature guy.
Right.
Okay. He's complimentary. He's
we all know who the feature guy that gets the ball is.
Tony,
he's the guy. Yeah.
Tony's not going to be here next year either.
No, it's Kelsey. Kelsey's the guy that
cycling through wide receivers over there.
Yeah. But
we're the team that went a year without throwing a single touchdown to a wide receiver.
I remember that.
There you go.
Yeah.
What a deal.
Awful season.
But yeah, does anybody? I mean, look, New England's 0-2. They haven't won a game. I just know this team. I know their coach. He can't stand this bunch. It goes back to the Mangina thing. That's what I call him. Mangini's who I'm talking about. I call him Mangina because he whines like a bitch. That's why I call him that. It goes all the way back to that. It goes all the way back to Bill Parcells trying to make him the coach of the Jets, and he didn't want to leave New England. So, this rivalry is just as bad as the Red Sox and the Yankees. These two towns do not like each other. Took something like 9/11 to get them on the same page, if you know what I'm saying. We don't like each other, man. And I'm telling you right now, New England's going to pull this game out. I don't know how they're going to do it. I would imagine you're going to see a lot of Ezekiel Elliott in this game, a lot running right at them because they do have a good defense. That friggin' Jets defense is for real. But I can guarantee you this. If you've got that wide receiver for the Jets today, you might want to bench him because Belichick's going to take that dude away. He is not going to get beat by that dude. They're going to get beat by Dalvin Cook before they'll get beat by him. I can tell you that right now. So, thoughts? I've got New England. I've said it pretty loud and proud.
I held my nose. I put it off, but I did pick the Patriots because the Jets quarterback.
He's a human jugs machine, man. I don't care how.
Eighth back. He's an eighth back. That's what he is. He's not even a quarterback. He's an eighth back.
I don't care how long he's hung out with Aaron Rodgers. No. Sorry.
Okay. It should tell you something that the Jets tried to get Chad Henne to come into quarterback work.
What? When?
They tried to get Chad Henne. They called and begged Chad Henne to come out of retirement for him.
You're kidding me.
Nope.
I saw that article. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And they haven't called Phillip Rivers? Really? Wow, that's amazing.
I don't know if they call it. And of course, the whole talk was about what's his face? Tom Brady coming out of retirement to play him.
Shit.
He's not. He's like,
if
no.
If Tom Brady came out of retirement to play for the Jets, I think everybody in New England would burn their fucking 12 jerseys, man. I really do. It's that bad. That's how much these teams hate each other, dude. I mean,
but it'd be funny to see him walk on the field and give Belichick a heart attack. Just watch him.
By the way, speaking of Belichick, how'd you like that challenge flag he threw against the Dolphins? Did you guys see that one?
I saw clips of it. I didn't really understand it.
It's so funny. He had it in his hand and he waited and he was looking at the ref, kind of side-eyeing him, and he was waiting until the ref was looking at him because they were bringing the chains back. And the ref wasn't looking in his direction. And as soon as the ref looked in his direction, he just threw it down with disgust. I mean, major disgust. He was so pissed. It's so fucking funny, man. Belichick is just the dude's a force of nature. I love him. But anyway,
he had a Belichick size fit on the sidelines when he did that, basically.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, I agree with you, Joe. I'm gonna go with Patriots. I don't see the Jets. I mean, like I said, you already mentioned it. Jets have a great defense.
Yep.
If they win, it's gonna be with they got great running backs, Breece Hall and Dalvin Cook. So I mean, definitely have a chance. But when it's Belichick versus the Jets, you basically want to go Belichick.
They're going to take Garrett Wilson away. I guarantee you, he's going to be double teamed.
They can take him
all
away. It's just
day.
because they stop the run, which generally the Pats are good defense, so they probably could do that. So then it'll probably be a low scoring game.
Yeah, it's going to be a low scoring defensive game. 9-6, some shit like that. It's going to be an ugly East Coast game.
Yeah,
dude.
It's going to be one of the games I'm hardly paying attention to because there's nothing going on.
But you know what? If you're a defensive football fan, this is going to be a good game to watch. It really is, because you've got one of the greatest defensive minds ever in Belichick, who really, I mean, if you watch the Miami game, they had their opportunities. He coached it exactly the way you have to. It's kind of like coaching against the Chiefs. You have to play zone until you get the red zone and then tighten it up and hope that you can hold them to 3. That's the way you play teams that are that high octane. And he did a great job of doing that. It's just the offense couldn't capitalize on what they had.
See, that's the thing for me.
You definitely don't play man against the Chiefs because we'll burn you.
No.
That's always the thing for me. It's like you look at a learning scoring game, and to me, it's not always a defensive game. It's just a bad offensive game.
Yeah.
That's
but
why
this
I don't
one,
like seeing it.
This one is going to be a defensive thing to watch. It's going to be a lot of fun because
the bar for me for a defensive game is Pittsburgh and Ravens back in the heyday.
Yeah, there you go.
Ray
Lewis, my God, So when Flacco was quarterbacking for the fucking
James
Ravens,
Harrison, Ed Reed, like that. Those
were great games.
Those are the defensive games I will watch. Like that's because they're hard hitting. They're not letting you. They're forcing the defenses. Nowadays, it's not. It's a low scoring game, mostly because the offense sucks.
I got to tell you the story real quick, guys, and then we'll get back to our picks. I was watching. This is when I was furnished ticket Libby Glass, and it was the height of the Ben Roethlisberger Flacco thing, and it's late in the game, and I'm rooting for the Ravens because I just hate the fucking Steelers. I
wonder why. I
fucking hate. Well, you know why. I'm not going to detail that right now. But I'm sitting here watching this thing. The Ravens have a lead. They're up like 14-10 on them. And my buddy that's watching it with me, I brought my TV up there. I used to bring my TV up there on Sundays for football. He's saying, "What are you complaining about?" I said, "Dude, you don't understand. It's Pittsburgh. They love ripping your guts out late in the game. This is what's going on here, dude." And he's like, "No, they're doing fine, blah, blah, blah." And it come to a 3rd and 2, right? And Troy Polamalu steps up right between the gap between the nose tackle and fucking defensive end. And he's just staring at Flacco, who's under center. Flacco doesn't fucking alter the play at all. He keeps the action play going. That son of a bitch shoots the gap and strips the ball, and they return it for a touchdown. They won that game 17-14. And I was so mad. And my buddy was like, "Well, you called it." I said, "Yes, I called it. He should have friggin' changed the play, the stupid son of a bitch." I know he was looking. He looked
still playing
right
back
at
up
him.
Somewhere, or is he finally out of the league?
What's that now?
Flacco, is he out of the league, or is he still playing back up somewhere?
The team he was playing for was the Jets. And I think he may still be on their roster. I don't know. I think it was the Jets was the last team he played for. Not sure if he's
wonderful invention called Google.
Well, yeah, Knox already looking it up.
Looking right now.
Yep, he's looking it up right now. He's got it. But what do you think, Knox? You're going with New England as well? Yes.
He's not playing for anybody.
He's not playing for anybody.
He's a free
Sounds
agent.
like the Jets could use him.
Yeah, he doesn't have anything for 2023. He was with just last year.
But we don't need to keep talking about Flacco because I'm sure Knock could blow a gasket at some point if we continue to talk about that dude. Okay.
He basically screwed our season twice.
Yes, he did.
Once against the Broncos and once with the Broncos. So it's like that. Yeah.
Sticking with the same division, we got the Buffalo Bills traveling to the hottest topic on sports radio. There were knock lives. What's up?
Speaking of the Broncos getting wrecked,
the undefeated Washington football team, Commandos, Redskins, whatever you want to call them.
I got to tell you, this is the game where they gotta take advantage of Buffalo. Buffalo does not look good right now, so I'm rooting for Washington on this one.
Yeah.
I said last week if they do they do well, I'll start actually calling them the Commandos. I won't call them the Commanders. But
it's a stupid name. You can't have all Chiefs and no Indians. Okay, you can't have nothing but Commanders. Come on, man. Come on. But yeah, I mean, Buffalo is a helter-skelter team, and it all hangs on Josh Allen. How does he play? And Ron Rivera is a defensive-minded coach. He plays in a tough division. He's got to play Philly and Dallas twice a year. And can they win this game? Yeah, they can. Just depends on which Josh Allen shows up.
Yeah,
that's what matters. Okay, if he starts playing backyard ball, Ron Rivera will jump all over it. He'll jump all over that. But the thing is, can their offense score enough points? Offensive-minded knock. Tell me, can they score enough points to win this game?
Who? Which side?
Washington.
I mean, Sam Howell looked pretty good last week. I mean, he looked like freaking young Aaron Rodgers out there. So couldn't stop him, or young Peyton Manning. Apparently, it was like playing Madden now, where you just like any quarterback can just be good. That's how good he looked against the Denver Broncos. I mean, they're still going to rely on Robinson. They're going to rely on the run game.
Mm-hmm.
That's their forte, is trying to establish the run. So a lot.
It's a Ron Rivera mold. They're cut out of his mold. Same thing in Carolina. They ran the ball first and foremost. So
they're going to want to establish the run, but remember, it's Eric Bieniemy, so it's not Rivera's team. It's not his offense. It's Eric Bieniemy's offense. Completely different game. So. While he still want to run the ball, it's still going to be more depending on the pass game and screens and stuff like that. But letting the players, like Dotson and I don't know if Dotson's still hurt, and McLaurin, get those plays, get the ball in their hands, and then can the defense do anything to stop Josh Allen? He's going to get his plays in, he always does. It just depends on if it's going to be effective and. How the Bills going to do in the red zone is probably going to be the thing of the game.
Right.
Yeah, I've been bouncing around between McLaurin and Mari Cooper today, trying to figure out which one to start since D-Hop was cleared. So
now who's Cooper playing for now?
Browns.
No kidding.
Yeah.
He had a decent week last week, I think. I don't know if
he did.
Fantasy wise, but play wise, he did pretty good.
But
I picked Buffalo.
I didn't start D-Hop because Cleveland gave up the 30 most or 30 least points in the game against wide receivers. So they're stout on the wide receivers. It's the run game that they let through.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take a flyer on this one. I'm gonna go Washington.
Washington Redskins. I like it.
I don't know if the home game matters that much. It's raining here, so I don't know if as many people are going to show up as usual. But it's.
I would think that their attendance is going to be up this year, regardless, just because Dan isn't the owner.
It absolutely has been. Yeah, absolutely. I don't know. I think this is the time to strike at Buffalo. I think they're a little vulnerable right now. So I don't know. Maybe Washington takes advantage. I wouldn't be surprised if Buffalo beats up on them, but Washington has played pretty decent these last 2 weeks. So,
what do you think, John? Who you got?
I'm actually going to go the opposite, you guys. I'm going to go with the Bills. I think Joe
picked the Bills.
Oh, I thought you picked Washington. So
no,
sorry.
I took the Bills.
I think we're getting.
I'm either going to make a lot of headway this week, or I'm going to
do another week one and get 6 right. Yeah.
You're
going to get the gimmies and nothing else. Yeah,
right.
I hear you.
Yeah, I think we're getting the good Josh Allen, not the bad Josh Allen.
Yeah,
we'll see.
For sure.
Hopefully, Ron Rivera can bring out the bad Josh Allen. Hopefully. I'm rooting for the Redskins. I'm sorry. That's what I still call them that. Of course, you know what? It's funny. I was getting somebody's picks the other day. I think it was Dallas sent me his picks. And what's he send me for the Chargers? SD. San Diego. It's pretty funny. I had to laugh. Okay, the next one we got is the Carolina Panthers at the Seattle Seahawks.
I think I saw somewhere like Andy Dalton's like 5-1 against Seattle or something like that.
I took my Seahawks, gentlemen. I believe. Let me see. Where is it? Did I not? Okay, there it is. Yeah, I took my Seahawks, but I don't feel comfortable with this pick at all. Carolina has a way of coming up to Seattle in the regular season and injuring half our fucking roster and destroying us. It's always a tight game. But Andy Dalton being the quarterback, yeah, he's got a good record against us. But if you've watched any Andy Dalton, he only knows how to throw one kind of football. It's a laser. He doesn't know how to put touch on a ball at all. That's why he throws so many interceptions. And I'm looking for that today. I think we'll pull this one out. He'll make enough mistakes for us to jump on and take care of business. But yeah, yes, Knock, do it, man, do it. This is my boy right here. Oh yeah, you got it queued up?
I got it.
All right, go. Here it is. Yes,
this is what Joe's looking for today.
Both have been huge.
This is what I'm looking for today. Right here.
This one results.
That's the dude. After he threw a pick,
that camera shot needs to be cemented at Canton. That video shot.
Run that back again. That's awesome.
It's absolutely insane.
Half against the Cardinals. And both have been huge. One stopped a long drive, and this one results in a pick six.
That guy knew he had gold when he saw that.
That is so great.
He was like, I can't believe, he had to be like, I can't believe I'm catching this right now. That's such a funny shot. I will always, anytime I think of Andy Dalton, his name gets brought up. It will take me to that shot.
Everybody calls him the red rifle. I call him the red BB gun.
And
hell with him.
That leap at the end is just classic.
Yeah. Imagine now. I want you guys to imagine the same team he quarterbacked for, quarterbacked by Joe Burrow. Imagine what that team would have done. Oh my God, they were stacked. And Andy Dalton is the guy that brought it down. I mean, with all those picks he threw.
I mean, their defense was always their undoing as far as penalties.
Yeah, their defense. Yeah,
it was a nasty.
They made so many mistakes, and half of it was Vontaze Perfect or whatever the fuck, however fuck you pronounce his name. He was just psychotic. The guy was a really talented football player, but my God, could he make some damn mistakes that would blow the whole game? Just personal fouls he didn't need to do.
Yeah.
It's just, it was so sad. But anyway, yeah, I've got Seattle in this one. Anybody think Carolina's going to go in there and win?
No, I went with the Sea Chicken. I went with the Sea Chickens because you're in the second loudest stadium in the NFL.
Yeah, you know it, baby.
The Sea Box. Yeah.
The Sea Box. That's it. Yes.
No, I'm going Seattle as well. I think they're the better team, and Andy Dalton.
I don't think Carolina's putting up 35 points, and they're going to have to because we can score. That's one thing we can do. Yeah, for sure. So, okay. The next one we got in the 3:00 window is. Oh Jesus! Do we even need to talk about this game?
Dallas Cards.
I mean, Dallas has a gift for playing down to their opponents. So
they do. That's the scary thing about them.
Arizona's like, they were up very much on Giants, and then
how in the hell did they let the Giants come back on them?
But they scored, and they didn't do too bad week 1 either. So they're a sneaky team. They just don't know how to finish. They know how to take the reservation. They just don't know how to hold the reservation. I don't know if anyone gets that reference.
I'm going to quote Joe Dirt. My name is Joe Derte. Don't church it up, son. It's dirt. Okay, don't church it up. Arizona.
I can't believe
They're
how scary Micah Parsons is. Like, just how do you play against him? Like,
you never saw him play, but that's Lawrence Taylor. I'm sure you've heard of this guy. He changed. Lawrence Taylor. Okay, he was a linebacker that was a pass rusher that was unbelievable, and Bill Parcells and Bill Belichick came up with the 3-4 defense because they had a player like that. They decided, okay, what we're going to do is we're going to put 4 linebackers out there, and we're going to move him around and have him come for different directions and just have 3 down linemen and try and confuse the quarterback. And that's where the 3-4 defense was born, was there in New York when they got Lawrence Taylor in the draft. And you're saying you never saw him play, not because you're not old enough to have seen it, but that's what you're seeing right now.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you agree, John?
Yeah,
that's the closest thing I've ever seen to Lawrence Taylor.
Yeah, that's the closest I've seen to LT.
Yeah, he's amazing. The guy is phenomenal. He's a game wrecker. That's all there is to it. It's like watching Aaron Donald 4 years ago, and he can't be blocked sometimes. It's ridiculous. His leverage, the way he uses, and the thing that makes him really amazing is he doesn't have the size Taylor had. You know what I mean? This guy's slim and does this stuff. It's kind of like watching a smaller version of Jason Taylor, who was a really good pass rusher with some moves that are just ungodly. He does amazing things, man. It's nuts. He can do anything.
The guy lining up against him's off balance before even the ball snapped.
Yep. Yeah, it's nuts, man. I think I took Dallas in this one. I know I hear Knock talking it up. I don't know if he's working for the NFL these days, trying to sell the game or what. But do you think Arizona actually has a chance? Are you willing to go on that limb?
No, definitely not. I thought this was pretty cool. I don't know if you guys have seen this, but this is I think he got it. Myles Garrett does it too.
Okay, hang on. Here we go.
But this little dance he does pre-snap. And he's
my God.
kind of like he's kind of waiting for it to. He never crosses the line.
He's in their head, man. He is in their head,
and he does it just like oh man, huge loss for the Dallas defense though. Stephon Diggs for the year with a torn ACL.
Gone for the year.
That's such a shame.
It does hurt. It hurts a lot.
Machine, man.
But as you see on that play right there, he didn't get to him, but he forced this turnover. He scared the shit out of fucking Wilson. You know what I mean? I mean, that ball becomes a grenade when that guy's free and running at you. Get it away from me, right? It's just, that's what he does. And I agree. It's a big loss, them losing Diggs. But when you've got a pass rusher like that, all of a sudden other guys look better.
Mm-hmm.
They look better.
Yeah.
Because teams know they have to get rid of the ball. They have to get rid of it because this guy's going to get it.
That's exactly why the Broncos lost. There was no pressure. He had Sam Howell had all the time in the world to do whatever he wanted to do. Yeah. That was the key. In the first quarter and a half, they were getting pressure on him and forcing him to throw it away and stuff like that. And then after that fumble,
as the game,
there was
the defense
zero
got tired.
pressure, and that's where our secondary is not that great. And so it's all we tried to get Randy Gregory and all that stuff, and it just didn't work. So, but Dallas, Micah Parsons,
yeah, he's a game wrecker.
I'm on Dallas on this one.
Yep, I'm sure you are too, right, John?
Oh yeah, I'm definitely rooting for the Cowboys in this one.
Yeah,
just because.
But can Dak Prescott win a game by more than 30 points? Like, can that actually happen, or do they just keep him in it? Turnovers. Arizona's been getting turnovers. That's been the thing. That's been their thing that's kept them in the games.
I don't know if you've watched the Cowboys yet this year, but McCarthy's doing the play calling now. And if you watched him play call in Green Bay, he likes to run the fucking football. He's basically taking the ball out of Dak's hands a lot these days, especially with a lead. He is pounding the rock at these fools, man. And it's with a defense like that, that's scary to see. Anybody that's playing Dallas wants to see Dak back in the shotgun throwing the ball. You know what I mean? Because he's apt to make mistakes. We all know that. But it's like McCarthy says, no, I'm going to put you in the best position you can. And, Clemens is out there in San Diego now, and they're putting up points.
Kellen Moore.
Kellen Moore, is that his name? Did I say Clemens?
I'm very I know a lot about him because he was a Boise State Broncos quarterback. So I'm very familiar.
Yeah. But he didn't run the ball this much. They're running the ball a lot, dude. Especially when they get the lead, they're running the ball, and they're playing to their strength.
They didn't run the ball when they had DeMarco Murray. That was always weird to me.
I know that was weird to me too.
Let him go. He led the season, and he led the NFL in rushing, and then they're like, "Oh, we don't need you."
Right.
And that was the beginning of the end of Romo.
I'm actually using him. I just picked him up. I played that game last night with Phillip Rivers. I picked him up in the offseason because I lost Ryan Matthews. I picked up DeMarco Murray as my running back. And I'm pounding the rock with him. Okay. Next one we got is the Chicago Bears. Oh, Jesus. Well, let me just go ahead and mark this for you guys. Well, wait.
I'm off the hill. I'm off the hill.
You're off of it? Okay. Okay.
Yep.
He's finally come back to reality with the rest of us.
Yeah.
Let me see. Did I go out on that limb? No. I took the champs. I know the champ fan is taking the champs.
I'm going with the Bears.
You're so full of shit. I know better.
No, I'm not.
Fraud.
Yeah, this Bears
wayward fan.
This Bears team is in trouble this year. It really is.
Oh, and they don't even have a defensive coordinator anymore, right? What the fuck was that about?
What are you talking about? Tell me.
Did they get raided this last week or something?
Yeah, he got raided by the FBI.
Like,
for what?
He quit. He resigned because it hasn't come out yet, but the speculation is it has something to do with young ones.
Oh no!
Oh
this is the defensive coordinator for the Bears.
Yep,
former defensive.
Yeah, he did the. I'm stepping back to take time for my health and my family.
Yeah.
Oh well.
He hand caught in the proverbial cookie jar, I guess.
Please, I don't even want to think about that. Yeah, I've heard enough.
I didn't know what it was about. I remember seeing something about it, like the facility was raided and his home was raided and he's left the team and so Chicago is not.
They've got a lot of distractions.
This is like watching the Atlanta Falcons when Vic got arrested for dogfighting. This is exactly what I'm looking at. It's a team in disarray from the top down. They don't know what the hell they're doing there. I'm pretty sure the stadium.
Justin Fields will run for 100 yards. So,
is right? He'll run for 100. No problem.
It won't mean anything, but he'll
throw 3 picks and ruin your fucking fantasy score.
Yeah.
But hey.
The question is, are we going to finally see the first triple score game?
No, you're not doing that. No,
I don't think they're that. I don't think the defense is that bad.
No, see, that's one thing I know about Reed. He will run the ball when he gets.
Yeah. He gets a lead, he'll run.
Yeah, when you get five touchdowns up, he will start running the ball.
Now that's not. Now if it was up to Mahomes,
they throw.
We'd throw.
That team is one-minded on offense, no doubt about it. But Andy will pull the reins in and run the ball when he's got a lead. Yeah, he will. Okay, next one. This game looks interesting to me.
2 prime times in a row for the Steelers. Oh, man. They're living in the light.
Here we go. The Pittsburgh Steelers at the Las Vegas Raiders.
That was a big win for them last week. They really needed that.
Who's that? The Steelers?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Great win for them. A great way they won with that picks with the fumble return for a touchdown. by Watt. Very impressive. The defense is still alive and well in Pittsburgh. But Vegas, they're up and down. I think they're going to go as their quarterback goes. They've got a good running back there.
Yeah, they do.
And they've got arguably a top 5 wide receiver, right? Devontae Adams is no joke.
Yeah, I know.
But I just feel like Tomlin is going to start putting it together here. He's going to. Yeah. Do you have Harris going today, John? I know you had.
He's on mine.
Rest him in the service last week.
He's on mine. I have no choice. I have to play him. I don't have anything else to do. I picked up Kyren Williams from the Rams, and he's my second round.
I'm starting him.
Yeah, just outside of fantasy, like he needs to do more. We need more from Harris. The Pittsburgh needs more from Harris. Like that just. Yeah. I don't know if it's him or if it's the run game or the run blocking scheme or what, but he's not going to stay in Pittsburgh if he doesn't improve soon.
Yeah.
Like they're going to move on from him.
So
I'm starting him because Pacheco didn't practice all this week.
Oh, really? Okay.
So I'm like,
so thoughts on the winner? What do you think?
I think I'm actually going for the Steelers.
Yeah. That's who I picked was the Steelers in this one. What do you think, John? Or excuse me, Knock. You going for Garoppolo and the boys? What you think?
Yeah, who did they beat last week? I'm trying to remember.
Hang on, I've got
it.
They
beat the Broncos. Who did they lose to last week? That's the question.
Let's see. They lost to
to Buffalo. 38-10 to Buffalo.
Yeah, they got smoked. Josh Allen dismantled them. Yes,
okay.
The good Josh Allen showed up last week. They destroyed them. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go Steelers. I think the defense can manhandle Garoppolo, force him into making mistakes, which he's prone to do. Just got to stop the run. Can they stop the run? That'd be the question. Otherwise, it'll be a closer game for sure.
Their defense looked a lot better last week, and you saw what happened to Chubb. And Chubb is no joke. He's a great fucking running back, and they knocked him out of the game. I think that defense is coming together. So
I'm still kind of biased of the offseason, the preseason. Excuse me. I think the Steelers' offense could be pretty decent.
Yeah, once they figure out the protection issues, when he does have to drop back,
and get the run.
That Pickett to Pickens thing is going to be freaking awesome. It really is. Once they get the they've got it for it to work, though. You guys have been saying it. Harris has got to get off his duff and get some production. Yeah. He's got to. Yeah. That's the key to it. Any young quarterback's got to have a running game if he's going to be able to throw the ball deep.
And this is the day, because this could be the day anyway, because Las Vegas gives up a lot of points to running backs.
Yeah, they do. For sure. Okay, so we're all in Pittsburgh on that one. Undefeateds. Big one for the playoff picture in the future in the NFC. The Philadelphia Eagles.
The future NFC championship game right here.
Right? Could be. It could be, boys and girls. I am so happy for
I think that's going to be San Francisco and the Eagles.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I mean, that's yeah. But what we've seen out of the first 2 weeks out of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, man, look, my man Baker is dealing. He's dealing. He threw a touchdown to Mike Evans. Both games. What? Wait a minute now. What?
Well, if I remember right, isn't Baker Mayfield the same quarterback class as Mahomes?
Yeah. Yep. They've been in the NFL the same amount of time. Yep. Sure have. Yes, sir. And I got to tell you something about Philly. I've watched both their games. That team is the most dangerous running team in the game, period. But for some reason, in the first half, they like to try and throw the football. Instead of establishing the run and then throwing off of that, they try and throw to open up the run. And I don't understand it. I would come out just pounding the rock. They're built to just destroy you on the ground. They really are. And I don't know why you wouldn't want to wear the other team out from the beginning. New England had chances to beat that team.
Yeah.
And when they played Minnesota, if you guys watched that game, that first half was close because they were throwing it all over the place. And they weren't even trying to run it. I was like, what is this? And then they started running in the second half. And my God, they couldn't stop them. It was ridiculous. They could not stop that team at all.
Interesting tidbit. Both of the teams that both teams have beaten, are all 0-2.
Yeah, right.
Interesting.
I took Philly in this one, I believe, because you got to go with them until they lose, really. My dad, on the other hand, took Tampa. And my dad is not a slouch at picking games, man. He said he thinks Baker's actually going to pull this off. And I'm like, I don't know. I like I said, my thinking is I got to go with the NFC champs until they lose. You know, they're just that good, you know. But, yeah, thoughts?
Well, Jalen Hurts' problem is he's still considered a running quarterback.
Yeah.
And I think that's why they throw it so much in the first half to go, see, look, I'm not the running quarterback.
Right. Trying to fool the defense. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got you.
And the defense is like,
really?
You're going to run it. Just run it.
Just run the ball, right?
Just run the ball, run over us because you're going to run over us. So, just get it over with and we'll go home.
Yeah.
But I went with Philly just because I think their offense is better than Tampa Bay's defense.
I would love to see Baker beat him, though. My God,
I'm gonna go. You know what? I'm gonna go with some Baker magic. I don't expect him to win, but like I said, I got to either catch up or just fall behind. So I'm already committed this week to that. So
this is the go for it week. Okay.
This is I'm hoping let's get some Baker magic up in here. Let's
I'm pulling for him. Don't get me wrong. I'm pulling for him. You know I love my boy Baker.
Let's see if the Tampa Bay defense can surprise us.
Arguably, Jalen Hurts is the second best quarterback in the NFL. So
yeah. But he struggles sometimes on deep balls, man. He's inaccurate. If he has an inaccuracy game, it's on the deep ball.
Yeah.
He will miss guys wide open. And not the fact that he's missing them as far as not seeing it. I mean, he throws it over their heads. He's got a gun, and sometimes he doesn't control it, and it goes haywire on him when he throws a deep ball. But,
if he can pull it down and throw it to the flat, because I think Tampa Bay is weak there.
Yeah.
If he throws it to the flat, get in the middle of the field, he'll run down the field all day long.
This man, I'm so glad this one's on ABC so I can see it. That's going to be awesome. I can't wait.
It's going to be better than
another one
game.
this week? Are they doing another one this week? Are they doing it again? Let's see. Are they doing it again? Yes, they are. The Los Angeles Rams, Matthew Stafford, 2 years removed from his Super Bowl championship, goes up against Cincinnati and the Bengals,
who are 0-2.
And I got to tell you guys, I took the Rams in this one because I don't think it's going to get any better for him.
I sat Burrows and I put in Purdy, and I'm not regretting it. Purdy got me 21 points, and I'm happy with that.
Purdy put on a show. I'm like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of see. The problem is I got Mahomes and Tua, so I'm like, and Purdy. So I'm like, who am I going to set? Well, I'm going to set Purdy normally.
You're going to set Purdy.
Until Purdy gets hurt.
I had Burrows, so I was like, you know what, Burrows, screw you. You cost me enough.
Well, it's not him. It's their offensive line. They still haven't fixed it.
And he's hurt, so he can't. He's not maneuverable enough to get away. Do anything. So
there's a reason why we didn't give Orlando Jones Jr. the money he wanted.
Yeah.
Because he was the weak link on that. Him and Wiley were the weak link on that side.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, because everybody's like, oh, well, you're missing Wiley, and Wiley sucked. Wiley couldn't stop anybody. He was tissue paper. Yeah. And I'm like. But
I call him a turnstile.
Yeah, basically, yeah. He was a doorknob. Everybody had a turn on him.
So, Knock, who you on with this one?
I'm going to go with the Rams, too.
Yeah.
You gotta love that story with that kid. Nukula?
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. He made the team, right?
Cup Light?
Yeah.
I don't know if he has a nickname yet, but I'm going to call him Cup Light.
This is where I'm either going to be brilliant or fall behind.
Gotcha.
I went with the Bengals because I don't think they're gonna.
Well, I think that's the only one you've been different from Joe on, so not gonna be by much. If you fall behind.
You may be absolutely correct. Let me check. No. He took. No, wait. That's you guys. Let me see. Yeah, we're on the same ones. Yeah, this is the only one we're doing.
I don't see the Bengals going 0-3.
0-3.
I don't think. I think Joe Burrow will just finally go, fine, I'll do it myself.
Yeah, which he can do. There's no doubt about it. But with a bad wheel, that's going to be a lot harder for him to do.
But yeah, I don't think his wheel's quite as bad because I checked him in practice this week and he was full.
Still got Aaron Donald. Still got to.
Aaron Donald is still playing for the Rams. Last time I checked, so
yeah, Aaron Donald's is still playing for the Rams. Yes, but Aaron Donald has lost a step.
You think he's lost?
I guess we'll find out. Huh?
We will find out.
I think
we'll find out if the turnstiles can stick long enough.
Yeah. That is the problem. Joe Burrow's just going to have to get out of the way. Is what's going to happen.
He's going to have to move.
Yeah.
And the bad thing about it is if he's got a bad wheel, further injury is a worry with that. So
yeah, because he is not Mahomes. He can't play with one leg. I will give you that.
So is anybody surprising you so far this season? Knock, start with you. Who's surprising you so far this season?
Let me take a look at what we got here, and let's go with. I mean, Washington 2-0. You know, that's a good start for them.
Yeah, it is.
Atlanta 2-0. Bijan Robinson. I don't know if you could be surprised about him, but you know the rest of the team is rallying around it, and they're
playing better ball. They are.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I would say
it's amazing what happens to a defense when they get rest, right?
Mm-hmm.
Isn't it amazing what happens to a defense? Yeah. I guarantee you Atlanta's like, thank God, we got a running back that's going to keep the clock running. We can sit here a minute and get our wits about us. You know what I mean?
I think the bigger surprise is the teams that are 0-2.
Yes.
I mean, Denver maybe not as much, but you know, you got the Chargers, you got Minnesota. You know, you got New England. You got, you know, there's some of these teams that are, you know,
perennial playoff
teams. They were in the playoffs last year,
yeah,
something like that. So that's a little, you know, surprising. I would say it's the ones that are losing games rather than how many are winning. So.
John, anything surprising you?
I'm going to agree with Knock. I think the Washington Commandos surprised me.
It's a great story, man. I'd like to see them continue this role. I really would.
I
wish they would win every game except when they play the Broncos. So.
Yeah, I know Bieniemy's a good offensive coordinator, but I thought it was going to take him a year to get everybody in that system lined up, but he whipped them into shape, and also with everybody complaining, you know, all those players complaining about.
Oh, how funny was that?
Oh,
how funny was that?
He's too mean. He says stuff.
I loved it. I was like, keep doing it.
None of it matters when you win.
None of it matters when you win. Nobody's bitching now, are they?
If Urban Myers had gone to the playoffs with the Jags, none of that shit. Him kicking the kicker with
the kicker and all that fucking stupid.
If they had gone to the conference championship, none of that would have mattered.
Yeah,
it would have came.
Trevor Lawrence was out there fucking throwing 3 touchdowns a game. Nobody gives a shit how he treats.
He's like, that's the process. That's how we win.
That's how we do it. I figured it was going to take at least until Bieniemy's head coach next year.
Yeah,
because I think Rivera's retiring this year. He's retiring at the end of the year, regardless of where he's at.
You know, they could still get the Colorado reality smack in the face. So we're still really early in the season. So
I didn't know Deion was going to take his Colorado Buffaloes versus an NFL team this year.
Well, I'm just talking that level of reality smack. So that's, damn well what I meant with that.
For
metaphor.
me, what's surprising to me, and we heard about it in training camp. We heard they had to sit him down. It's the play of Micah Parsons. If he doesn't get injured, he's gonna get Defensive Player of the Year in a walk. The guy is he's a one-man wrecking crew. He makes an entire defense look better. Yeah, the Diggs loss is is a tough one. But much like the Legion of Boom, who Dan Quinn created, by the way, the defensive coordinator, he knows what to do with a guy like this. He knows what to do with him. And he's going to make that entire secondary look brilliant. They're going to be squatting on routes all year long. And it's, dude, even if I know America's team, they got some of the most god-awful fans in the world. But if you haven't watched the Cowboys lately because you hate them, you're missing out on one of the greatest talents I think we've ever seen. And you need to check him out. Micah Parsons is that good. He really is.
And as much as I like Chris Jones, I think he really hurt himself sitting out to be in that conversation. Now, I'm not saying he's the reason why we lost that game versus I don't even want to think of the team. I don't even
Indianapolis last year, or are you talking about earlier this year?
No, it's Lions. Yeah, between him, it's a combination of him being out and us not having Kelsey at all. Because
and Tony dropping the ball it's his job to cut the ball.
Brick hands. Everybody had brick hands that game.
Yeah, they did, especially Tony. We got. Speaking of the Lions, we forgot about Thursday night's game.
I didn't forget about it.
I know you didn't, but I did. The producer did. I just remembered about it. Let's take a look at that real fast before we get out of here. We got about 4 minutes. Detroit at Green Bay. Big game in the North Division this time around.
Yep.
In my eyes, this is the two teams that's going to be vying for the division championship. Bears are going to be in the bottom, and you can laugh at me all you want. I think Minnesota ends up third because Dalvin Cook being gone has changed that football team. I don't give a shit what anybody says. But
disclaimer: this is subject to change depending on the results of this week.
Yes, absolutely. Remember, we're not writing this down in stone yet, but we're just talking about the matchup. I look for Detroit to come in here and handle business and let them know who the boss is. They stopped them from going to the playoffs with Rodgers last year. And I
that
think
was in Green Bay, wasn't it? And that was
it was. So it sure enough was, boys and girls. They're going to come in and let them know there's been a changing of the guard. I think this is the changing of the guard game. And we may look back and say it was the Rodgers game getting knocked out of the playoffs last year. Maybe that was the changing of the guard. But
the 30 for 30 will be the Rodgers game.
I have been one of Goff's biggest critics, and I have to give credit where credit is due. This guy has finally learned how to step up in the pocket, and it is amazing to see. The guy is playing lights out football. And if you sleep on the Lions, you're going to get beat.
Could you imagine this Detroit Lions squad with Barry Sanders?
Jesus. Wow.
And fans want to see more of Jabari Gibbs, but I think that they're handling him like you said 49ers should handle
McCaffrey. Yes.
And they're limiting him with, I think it's Montgomery that's there now. And Montgomery, both of them together look really good. They're a great 1-2 punch.
It's a great 1-2 punch they got there. Yep.
Well,
Gibbs is like
running back by committee can work well.
Yeah, absolutely. I thought that's what they were going to do with McCaffrey when he came to San Francisco.
Nope.
Because they had a good backfield when they got him. But I'm just seeing he's on the field a lot now. And
that's because not only can he run, he can catch the ball.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just good. He's good at what he does.
He's that good. Yeah, he is.
Give him the ball. That's what you're
I loved watching his dad play for Denver, and they're both cut out of the same cloth. They're overachieving tough guys is what they are. They're really good. Both of them are. Okay. That's it for this week, boys and girls. Want to let you know real quick what's going on with the channel so you can get to your games. Of course, you're watching Joe's Atmospheres channel, and the next time you'll see me is tomorrow when we do some I don't even think I have all the graphics up here, but we got Papa Joe Gamer After Dark. But tomorrow night it's at 6:30 p.m. back to our regular time, so Knock can be involved so we can finish I say finish. We're not finishing it tomorrow, but we're going to continue our playthrough of Knights of the Old Republic. Then Tuesday night at 10 p.m. Central Time. All these times are Central. It'll be, I think I'm playing Star Trek Online. I think that's what I've got up for Papa Joe Gamer After Dark on Tuesday. And then Wednesday, of course, we've got State of the Atmosphere. It's not the Nacosphere this week. We're back to State of the Atmosphere. He's done hijacking the channel now. And I will watch it, and I'll have it done before we get to this show this week. I just, I've been traveling and everything. I haven't had a chance to watch it yet, but I'm looking forward to watching you guys last week. I hope you did cover Ahsoka. Yes?
We did.
You did? Okay, good. I've still got to watch that one. That's another reason why I haven't watched it yet, but that's at 5:30 p.m. Central Time Wednesday. And then, of course, the Brothers Hack the Matrix at 6 p.m. Thursday. And Saturday, you can watch me draw my comic book at 1:30 p.m. Central Time. So, for myself, the Noxter, and Das Wolfen, we want to thank you for being here. And until we see you again, I want you guys to keep on keeping on. God bless.